Okay, sure, sir. Yeah, okay. Sure, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. കേട്ടോ പോതുണ്ടോ Uh, I think we'll just pause the recording for a while. I don't think you should have a problem. So start with the first passage and the first question.
You have sent in mail, sir, the document.
No, I've sent it. I've sent you a link.
I'm not able to access that. I mean, I
Okay,
never
just
received
But
it in the
it's
chats.
not in the chat.
okay. I think I put it. Okay. How about now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sir,
now
it's
it's there.
I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. For the ones who've just joined in, here's the link for today's class. Please download the file and start with the first question. So as you can see, they've given you some information and some rules and all that. And later on, they give you a case study and they ask you as to whether or not the case study is applicable for a certain treatment. That's what they're doing here. Okay.
Sir, what is domicile certificate?
I think domicile is some kind of a proof that you belong to that state, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that the exact meaning matters here.
Right.
Right. So have all of us received the worksheet? Is somebody yet to receive their worksheet? Please let me know. Okay.
Sir, yeah,
Yes, Lasya.
I didn't get it. I had
Okay,
class
okay, fine.
I had network.
Okay, I'll let you have it. Just a moment. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Yes, I've sent it to you now. Okay, do we start with the first question? I think we'll just do it together, right? There's nothing, there's no point in uh, kind of doing
Yeah,
it
okay, sir.
twice.
Like we'll discuss
Let me
and
just do it together. How about the first question? Any answer for that? So they say R.C. Bhargav is a son of an industrialist from uh, another state who has set his factory in 1990 and has a domicile certificate of the state. He is ready to pay the entire amount in 4 years if required. He does not own a house in Gurgaon city limits, but his wife owns a flat in Gurgaon. His date of birth is 11th of November 1960. So what do we do? Do we allot a flat or not?
No.
No, right?
no, sir.
Because
No.
he's a co-owner of the flat he's a
Housel
co-owner.
Yeah.
owner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because because the wife is an owner too. So apparently, uh, this person cannot own. Okay, it's fairly straightforward. So you have Gauri Datta, aged 45, is the wife of an ex-serviceman. Uh, she has been staying in rented house in G for the last 10 years. She is having a certificate of domicile of the state. She is not employed anywhere. She is ready to pay the entire amount in 10 years. So how about this?
We allot a flat, I guess.
Sir, data is
We,
inadequate.
do we allot or do we not allot?
So like we have to
Sir,
pay within
inadequate data.
5 years, right?
Yeah, but that's better, right? They got 10 years, that's even better.
No, sir, they have told minimum 5 years, sir.
Yeah, so if they got 10 years, that's even better, right?
Sir,
Yeah.
but they have told be ready to pay amount in 5 years, not minimum 5 years.
No. See, pay the entire amount in 5 years, 5 year periods, 5 years period.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in 5 years period. They say that she has to pay the entire amount in 5 years period, but here um, she's
They
ready
have
to
told
pay
10 years.
in 10 years. So that could be, um,
A flaw.
yeah, that could be one problem. And does she have any other
No, sir.
problem?
It's mentioned like if
Sir,
it's mentioned in the
what
at
is
C above.
Hmm. See, at C above, but it's okay if this doesn't work, but is a freedom fighter or an ex-serviceman. So even then they can have up to 15 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is not the problem. Is there any other kind of a problem?
She
Sir,
is not employed.
Yes, somebody
since
wants to say something.
since she's not employed, sir, even if she says she's going to pay the rent, I don't think we have any guarantee that she will be able to pay the rent.
Okay, fine. Let's see. Do we have any other? See, the thing is, they say, but is a freedom fighter or ex-serviceman or first relation.
Sir, I guess
So
it's data inadequate. Sir,
why that?
because if they have told addressing the flaws that at B above, but is ready to produce ration card. They have not mentioned if she has a ration card or not. If that is mentioned, we can infer anything.
No, she's ready to pay the entire amount in 10 years. Yeah, so
Not
by
the
that,
payment, sir. The employment status.
okay, she's not employed anywhere. Okay, so she's not employed anywhere. So is that a problem? Which,
Yes, sir. That is B.
yeah, so they say that be employed or self-employed for 5 years.
And they have addressed B if it is not being supported to produce a ration card.
Okay, so at B, but I think when they say at B, what they mean is if B is not fulfilled, so we have to kind of make that out. So I think,
Like
but
the
is ready
second
to produce
condition.
a ration card of of last 5 years should be referred to vice chairman of whatever. So she has to be referred to someone.
Yes, sir.
So she's
So
not employed. She has a domicile certificate,
they have
and
not told if
she
she has a ration card.
and she has been staying in a rented house for 10 years. So it's quite possible that she okay, but we can't assume that she doesn't have one, right?
But how can we assume if she has one?
Okay. So it all depends on whether or not she has the a ration card. Very good. So I think we could say data inadequate.
Yes, sir.
Why data inadequate? Because we don't know whether or not she has a ration card, or so we can't really make any decision until we know that. So clause C is not satisfied, and therefore we go here. But if C is not satisfied, we can go here, and they say that the she may be allowed a 15-year uh, commission, and the last date of for receipt of the application was 31st December. How about that?
Sir?
They say here that the last date for the receipt of application is 31st December. Conditions set out of the age. Okay, so she should be okay. Fine. So based on these criteria and inclusion provided. Okay, fine. So I think it's going to be data insufficient, data inadequate. Okay, how
Yes.
about three? So you have Rima Mohanty, is the daughter of a renowned freedom fighter from another state. She is domiciled in the state and employed in the town council of um, Gurgaon for the last 6 years. Okay, so she can pay the entire amount in 5 years. So clause C is satisfied. She has uh, she has completed 34 years, meaning she's 34 years old as of 10th December 1994. She does not own a house in Gurgaon. So what do we say? Do we refer or do we refer to chairman?
A lot flat, sir.
A lot flat.
Yes, sir. A lot flat. Direct.
Sir, that data which they have given that she is the daughter of freedom fighter, it is not of any use, sir.
Okay.
And she's
Uh,
not 35 years of age, no, sir.
She'll
She's
complete
34.
35 by
By
1990.
1996, 21st December.
yeah, I think that's just a petty trick. So you don't have to
Yeah,
worry
just to
about that.
confuse.
That's just that. That's not important. She doesn't own a house in. Okay, fine. So I think that uh the answer then is going to be a lot flat. All of us. Okay, fine. So the last question. Magna Ma, Magan Lal is 38 years old. He's a senior clerk in the local builder's office in Gurgaon. He has put in service of 13 years, but still does not own a house. He has produced domicile certificate and is ready to pay the entire amount in 8 years. He is the nephew of a freedom fighter, Jagan Lal, who stays in a nearby village. What do we do now?
Says nephew or first relation.
I think they define first relation, don't they?
Yes, sir. But nephew doesn't come under that.
Yeah, they say son, daughter, husband, wife.
Yes, sir.
So I don't think that he's eligible for
Yes,
the.
sir. Do not
Do
allow.
not a lot of that.
I think, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. But how about five? Uh, Divya Lahiri, um, a domicile of the state and a married woman of 36 years, has been running a beauty parlor in the city since 4th March. Her husband is employed in a nearby city, but both of them do not own a house in Gurgaon. She can pay the entire amount in 5 years. How about this?
A lot
So
flat.
employment status doesn't agree.
Okay, the employment.
Yeah, it should be for 5 years.
See, she's been running a beauty parlor since 4th March 92.
Yes, sir. But the last date is 1996, so it becomes 4 years.
Okay, so the last date for receipt of application was 1992. The cases given to you are as on 1st Jan 97. Okay, so maybe you can refer to her. See, the last date for receipt of application, meaning to the vice chairman, right? So what do we do then?
Sir, we can't refer
Don't
to the vice chairman because ration card is not given.
So because there is no mention of ration card, can we again say data inadequate?
yes, sir.
Because if she does possess
We
a,
can do that, or we can tell.
we can't refer to chairman. We can't say do not allow because after all she is employed and she is willing to pay the entire amount in 5 years and she's 36 years of age and so we can't say option C. So I suppose it's again data
Data
inadequate.
inadequate.
Data inadequate. Okay, fine. So six. Um, question number 6. So yeah, I know it's extremely boring, but I suppose that's how it's meant to be. Okay, so you have Indrajit Lal is a young businessman, domicile of the state, who was born and brought up in Gurgaon. He can pay the entire amount in less than 3 years if required. He has opened a shop on his 26th birthday, that is on 23rd Feb 1989. He stays with his father but is not having any ownership rights. He doesn't have any ownership rights in the house owned by his father. So what do you say?
Do not allow the flat.
His age is not meeting the expectation.
Okay. Yeah, 26 when 89, so when you add 6 years, it's still 32. Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Okay. So do not allot. Very good. The last question. Shamim Hassan is an ex-serviceman who is a native of Gurgaon. He stays in a rented house and is working as security officer in a factory for less than for the last 2 years after his retirement from the army at the age of 35. He has a ration card issued to him recently. He is ready to pay the entire amount. How about this?
Allowed flat.
A lot flat.
Are we sure though?
So he should
Sir,
stay in
refer to the
Gurgaon for five
president.
years.
Sir, they have told he's a native of Gurgaon, so
See,
it doesn't mean stay there.
he's a native of. He stays in a rented house and is working as a security officer in a factory for the last 2 years after his retirement from the army at the age of 35. He does have a ration card, so that's good. And
Domicile certificate.
yeah, nothing is mentioned about the domicile certificate. That's a problem. And
So
Sir,
it's E,
so
sir. Refer to president.
uh, let's see. Even if he is referred to the president, that's see when
No,
did he
I
refer?
think it's referred to the chairman, not president.
Yeah, the chairman, vice chairman, I think.
Yeah, they made a mistake.
Oh, okay. Where?
No, they said I think they said chairman
Oh,
instead of vice chairman. That's
Okay, refer to chairman. Okay, that's a mistake. Yeah, it should have
Yeah.
been vice chairman. Yeah, so all the chairmen should have been vice chairman. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, so let's see. I think this. I think that it's quite possible that there's some mistakes here. Let's see. Are we okay with option B? Be employed or self-employed in Gurgaon for minimum of 5 years. Is that condition satisfied?
No,
No.
sir. But he is employed for
And
2 years.
yeah, and so the antidote of B is two.
So, but he has a ration card,
He has a ration card.
so that helps.
A ration card
Yeah,
of
even that is issued recently, right?
just give me a moment. I think we have new people coming in. See, it says that but it's ready to produce a ration card of last 5 years should be referred to the vice chairman of house. But he just recently received his ration card. And the ones who just joined, do you have the worksheet for today? Is somebody here without a worksheet? Do you all have the worksheet? Great. Okay. Okay. Fine. So
So recently they have not mentioned how many years.
yeah, so you could say data inadequate rather than do not allot. I suppose it's data inadequate. Okay, I think we'll quickly finish this and then we'll do something else. So let's see if we can finish this. So the next question.
Sir, what was the seventh answer?
It's option D, data inadequate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we have three data inadequate answers. Like, is it a
So I
coincidence
don't
or?
think the seventh one is data inadequate.
Okay. So what could be the answer?
I think you have to refer it to the vice chairman.
Or it can be to the president.
Okay,
I don't
refer
think you
to
refer it to the president because they said he's a native. So if he's a native, it's reasonable to assume he has a domicile certificate.
Hmm. But I think the problem with that is that he's only employed for 2 years and he has a ration card issued, but the period of holding the ration card is not given.
They said recently. So they said if you look at the
Yeah, recently.
requirements, it said ration card of 5 years. That means issued in the last 5 years, no?
Yeah, but recently, how do we know that recently could not be 5 years?
It's 5 years is not recently. It's not a
Yeah,
reasonable assumption to say that
5 years may
five
not be
months.
5 years may not be recently for a young person like you, but this man is old. And I suppose as you get older, 5 years does become recently. And even so, it's not concrete and it's not crisp. And also, I suppose that's what the examiner wants you to do.
So, for getting a ration card, you should be a member of that particular state. So, domicile is again proved fine,
Okay.
but yeah, sir, if it may be referred to vice chairman or data inadequate.
Okay.
I mean, it can be data inadequate, sir, but there are three data inadequate answers. Like, will it be a coincidence or something?
I don't know how does that matter? You could have a passage with 4 questions with option A as the right answer. That doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go to the next question.
Sir, what is 1 year probation?
Probation is when you're under test. So they aren't sure whether you're eligible. They probably just keep you there. You're not yet a part of the organization. Okay, so I think we'll start with the first question. So it says Manika is a BSc graduate with 70% marks and has completed PG in MSc. Okay, so she's a postgraduate with an MSc. She completed 27 years of age. So she's 27 years old um, as of okay, as of 2015, and has 3 years experience as a math faculty. She is ready to join probation period of 1 year. Any answer for this?
So I have a couple of
Sir,
questions.
C is
C.
selected.
Yes, sir.
The candidate is
Yes, sir.
selected.
C.
Very good, very good. Because it meets all the criteria. Very good.
So but can you scroll up to the passage for 1 second?
Yeah, just one. I'll just maximize it so you can read it.
Sir, they say like in maths graduate there should be minimum of 72%.
Okay. But is an arts graduate arts, but is an arts with maths
So, but
graduate.
that is only if C is not met with.
Yeah.
So but nothing no, my question was there's nothing marked as C and D in the passage.
Yeah, I too couldn't figure out. I thought that C is, you know, see, except at C. So I really couldn't figure out what that meant. I just thought that that meant, but that is if she is, if they are the third line here, and I thought that if they are an arts graduate with a maths graduate, so 72%, and I just figured it out like that. So I thought the previous line is C. That's how I took it.
Okay, so but also they say that have a PG degree, 3 years diploma, or must have completed a Bachelor of Education with more than 55 marks. So it's not necessary that you complete your PG degree and 3 years diploma with more than 55% marks.
Hmm. See, what we have here is that she has 70% and has a PG in MSc. She has 27 years. She's 27 years of age as of 2015. So let's look at. So the age criteria is met, right? So
So
the
age
age,
criteria that will be satisfied, sir.
yeah. So the age criteria is satisfied and must be a graduate in any discipline with minimum 67 marks. So here she's a postgraduate and she's a BSc graduate with 70%. So that is met too. So I think the first, let's say that is A. So that's met, and let's say the age that is met, and let's say that have a PG degree with 3 years diploma, or must have, or a PD B.Ed with more than 55%, and have a minimum 3 years experience in teaching, and be ready to join 1 year probation. So let's say that that's a search statement. So what is an arts with max graduate? So I think that she kind of meets the first three statements itself. So let's say that let's just what I did was I probably didn't save it here. So I took that to be A, and I kind of so because that talks about be a graduate in any discipline and with 67%, and I took that to be B because this talks about her age and have a PG degree with. I took that to be C because this talks about have a or must have a B.Ed with more than 55 marks, and then I took that I have 3 years of experience and that D. I took that to be D. Have 3 years experience in teaching and be ready to join 1 year of probation. And then it says that if C is wrong, meaning if she does not have a PG degree with 3 years diploma, or and or a B.Ed with more than 55% mark, then she must have an arts. She must be a graduate with arts and maths with a 72% mark. Whereas for this person, um, for Manika, I don't think we even need to get that because she meets the criteria. She meets all the four criteria because she has work experience too, right? She has work experience. She has 3 years
Yes, sir.
work
It's
experience.
Yeah.
it's
She
meeting, sir.
has
No problem.
she has 3 years of work experience. So I think I forgot to save that. I forgot to. I'm sorry about that. So okay. So I think now we can probably have that as A, B, C, D. I think they're all up there. So you should be able to probably work it out. Okay. How about the next question? Mamta. Yeah. Okay. She's a graduate in BA and B.Ed. Okay. So she has a BA and B.Ed, 75% and 70 marks respectively. Okay. So she has been working as a professor in maths um, for 5 years and has freelancing experience for 2 years. Mamta's age is 30 years and she's ready to join 2 years probation. So how about that?
No, sir. She can't be selected.
Okay. So which criteria does she not meet?
1 year probation. She's being ready for two, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 1 year is minimum, right?
No, only 1 year, not minimum.
Exactly. 1 year is the minimum. Very good.
So isn't it only 1 year?
No, see, probation is not a
Minimum three
very
years experience and 1 year probation.
yeah. So yeah, so that's fine. So she's prepared for 2 years, so that's even better. So any other answers?
So, A.
If the case is to be referred to the principal. Okay, why A? Because A is here, right? A is
So she meets.
yeah. Please tell me. Yeah, go on.
No, sir. Meaning she meets all the conditions given except for the C. And the C says that she has to, in case the C is, meaning except C. So if she's having a graduate in maths, so with minimum 72%, then she'll be the principal. Here she is actually scored more than 72, 75%.
Yes, she got 75% in her BA,
So
but
So she already meets
That's good,
C.
right?
BED. She has got
B,
B.Ed.
So she should be selected.
she's got a B.Ed, right? See, have a
Yeah.
So it
PG or
satisfies
3
C.
years. Yeah, exactly. So she is satisfied, right, Dimple?
oh yes, sir,
So
correct. Yeah.
yeah, so she is satisfied, right? So there's no problem.
So, but that probation, I still have a doubt, sir. They have not told any minimum clause over there.
No. See, look, probation is not a desirable thing. So if somebody is willing to accept 2 years probation, then that's even good. Very good. Okay, let's go to question number 10. So question number 10 says that
So I think
Shobha.
your voice is breaking.
Okay, how about now?
Fine, sir.
You okay now, all of us?
Sir, what is ninth answer?
The ninth answer is option C. The candidate is to be selected.
Sir, why can't it be B? Refer to the vice principal.
The vice principal. See, when do you refer them to the vice principal? Only if D doesn't meet, right? If option D doesn't meet. But she's worked. She has 7 years of experience, right? So
Yes, sir.
option yeah,
She has more than 4 years of experience.
right. So
So
what is the trouble then?
even
Yeah,
even C criteria is fulfilled, no, sir.
so that's good.
She has got 72%.
Yeah, that's good, right? So then we can go right ahead and select her, right? Select them. We can select them. Okay, right. So let's go on to the next question. Question 10. Shobha, a 29-year-old science graduate with 70% marks in her graduation. Okay, has 53% in her B.Ed. And she also has an arts with maths graduation, securing 80% mark. She also worked with Satyam for a span of 5 years, and she is willing to join the probation period for 1 year. How about this?
Yeah, candidate is to be
Selected.
selected.
But how about the fact that she got 53% in her B.Ed?
But the
But
exception clause is
exception
fulfilled.
clause is fulfilled. So arts and maths, he got 80%. That's 72% more.
Yeah, so that's option C, right? So, and
Yeah,
therefore we should refer to the principal. Therefore, we should refer her to the principal. So, if the case is to be referred to the principal,
yeah, yes,
so it's
sir.
option A. Very good. Like I said, it's all fairly straightforward and
Okay, sir. It is referred to principal. Fine. Yes, sir.
correct. So, question number 11. Abhishek is a graduate in BSc and a postgraduate in MSc with 78% marks and has been working for the past 7 years, during which he worked as a teacher at a coaching institute for 2 years. So he was born on 7/11/1986 and is ready to join probation for 1 year. Any answers for this?
Age factor doesn't mean.
He was born on 86.
80s.
He will be
Yes,
31
sir.
years.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So
So
age
the
is
I'm
not the
sorry.
problem.
is, um, he's
Yeah.
been working only for 2 years as a teacher. So
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, but he's been working for the past 7 years. He's been
yeah, but
working
you
for the
don't know
past
what he
7 years.
was doing for the other five, though.
Exactly. We don't know what he was doing. Okay.
Sir,
But
but even if we did not know, he only worked as a teacher for 2 years, right?
Sir, even
yeah.
if we didn't know what he was
So,
doing, they have mentioned he was working.
Okay. See, what they say here is that 3 years experience in teaching, right? So, but what we do know here is that this person, very good. That's so. What we do know is that this person does have 7 years of experience. Five. Uh, that's Shobha, right? So that's yeah. He has been working for the past 7 years, during which he worked as a teacher in a coaching institute for 2 years. It's
Sir,
quite
anyway,
possible.
it doesn't matter, no, sir. He has a PG degree that fulfills the exception. I mean,
Uh,
the master's degree.
are we able to get through the uh, first three? If you are able to get through the first three, that's okay. See, because let's see, he has Abhishek has
BSc.
he got a BSc postgraduate in MSc 78%. Uh, but so we are okay with
sir, but
and
his
the age
BSc
is okay.
marks, the BSc marks,
It's not given.
yeah, it's not given.
Yes, sir. It's not given.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
BSc
and
marks are
since we
not
don't
given.
know what he was doing for the other 5 years, you can just mark data inadequate.
Yeah, data
Data
inadequate.
inadequate.
Option
Very
Data
good.
D.
inadequate.
Yeah, I
D.
think if information is inadequate to take a decision. Very good. Okay. So what is the decision to be taken in this case? Okay, so they're giving you a case. So you have Pandey. He's a player in the Indian team and has no experience in coaching any of the team. But his name is included by all of the three cricket advisory committee.
So, what is 11th answer?
Just give me a moment. Okay, I think that the 11th answer is going to be
Inadequate.
yeah, data inadequate. That's option D. Okay. I think the next question is a kind of a general question. It's not anything to do with this one. So you can try
But he should
12.
not be selected, right?
So there is no condition, nothing is given. How will we answer, sir?
Yeah, so it says that he's a player in the Indian team and has no experience in coaching.
Data and
But
equity. We don't have data only, sir. So data and equity.
okay, wait, hold on. Let's see. It says that he's a
Sir,
player.
sir, maybe they've given the data in the form of he has no experience in coaching any of the team.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. See, is a player in Indian team. Okay, in the Indian team and has no experience in coaching any of the team, but his
Yes,
name
sir.
is
That's the
included.
data given, sir.
Yeah, but his name is included by all three cricket advisory committee members. Okay.
The candidate cannot be selected.
No, you don't have enough data to make a decision.
So that's only the uh, data of him is given. They have not given anything which should, accept the minimum requirements.
They haven't said anything about his degree.
Yeah, I think it's clear case of
Whatever
bribery.
reason they have given, it is not matching any of the conditions given.
No, but I mean, even if he doesn't have teaching experience, this thing. I mean, if he has a master's, right, then he can still be referred to the vice principal. But they haven't said anything about his master.
Okay, I think that's. I suppose. Let's see. I think it is.
Sir,
None of
it's
this.
clear case of bribery, sir.
Yeah. So I suppose we'll settle on the option C and probably move on to 13. So 13 is you got a statement that says non-resident Indians invest their money in city A. About 1 lakh flats are vacant in city A. Still, people are struggling hard to get accommodation. Which one of the following decisions may be pursued to solve the problem? So, what should the government do? What's the most logical step that the government should take?
B.
Okay, let's go option by option. Should the government should take over the vacant flats and allot these flats to the needy persons. Okay, I can't see anything flawed with that. Um, the government should restrict the investment made by, but how do we define needy? Uh, it's quite
Yes, sir.
possible.
That's what you.
Yeah. So the government should restrict the investment made by NRI to check the soaring prices of dwelling units. Okay, you check the investment, but that still doesn't assure you of. Okay, the government should immediately constitute a task force to review the housing policy. I think that's too vague. The government should immediately take steps to end the en pause through proper coordination and management. Okay,
Maybe.
so yeah, I think en pause is kind of a deadlock. So yeah, I think it should do something, some kind of a coordination. So I think that's the most general answer that I probably go for.
Yes, sir. D.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So we'll go
So
on
why
to
D, sir?
D because that's most broad. That's broadly speaking, that seems to be uh, the only
Sir,
thing that's
but can't it be A?
A. Like I said, the problem with A is that it's too.
It doesn't define needy, no, sir.
It doesn't define needy.
Sir, but then there is a clause telling still people are struggling hard to get accommodation. So if they are struggling hard, obviously they are needy, no, sir. I
It's
mean,
very hard to.
needy for that particular purpose.
Yeah, but we could also kind of say that a rich person is needy because they want to invest their money. So I think that option D is the broadest option. So I think we can go for that.
How is C vague?
The government should immediately constitute a task force to review. It just says review. Review and then do what?
Okay,
I
yeah.
think that's the rationale that they use. I think these are subjective. So I suppose you could just probably quickly kind of. So how many questions are left? So just 11 questions. Maybe you could take 5 minutes and do them because they're all pretty vague, right? Or do you do them together?
Which type of exam will get this?
I think that you do get these in your CLAT
CLAT, sir? Oh,
because in CLAT you do have an LR section, right?
yes, sir.
I think last time they did give you questions like this, didn't they? I'm not sure.
So somewhat similar, sir, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. So quickly do them, and I'll probably in the meanwhile I'll probably just let you have an RC paper too.
So what was the 13th answer?
The 14th answer was D. Okay, I think we'll probably stop here because do you feel that it's better to stop here? Do you think it's quite simple?
Yes, sir. We'll stop it here.
And do you want to do
Sounds industry.
we'll just do
We'll do the input output some problems and we'll shift to LR.
okay. Okay, I think I will do we'll just do 14 maybe. And in the meantime I'll let you have an RC paper that's pretty hard. Okay, let's do this question and then stop. Okay, let's do 14 and let's do 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so that's pretty much the rest of it. Yeah, I suppose we won't do the last set of questions. That I'll leave it for homework. So the 24 to 25 and because it's pretty much the same thing. Input output is pretty much the same thing. Or do you want to do or do we do input output?
Yes, we'll do input output
Because
rather
I
than
think
the.
we've done
What is that,
all the.
sir?
See, you have okay. We'll do this. I think there's no point jumping. I'm sorry. Let's come back and let's go step by step. Let's finish it. Okay, let's just do 14. Let's do 14. So while traveling in Haryana, a registered commercial taxi from Haryana to an adjacent city, another state, your taxi driver informs you that he has no permit for running the taxi in that city. So he will stop at its transport office and pay the prescribed fee, a fine, I think, of rupees 50 for the day. So while paying the fee at the counter, you find that the transport clerk is taking an extra rupees 50 for which no receipt is given. You are in a hurry for an office meeting. Under such circumstances, what would you do? I think it is
Sir, D.
so. So option A is do not interfere. As
So
always,
this
we
is
matter.
like some interview question.
Take not to take note of the incident and subsequently report the matter to the. I think B is the most logical conclusion, right? Okay, so fine. So I think we'll go back to the selection type question. So you have a selection committee of a company. I think that's a pretty straightforward question. I think
Yeah.
and I think B is the
Yes,
only
yes.
logical thing that you would do. So go up to the counter and ask the clerk because you can't do C because you're in a hurry. Treat it as a normal and simply forget it. So I think there's a kind of a trade-off between two things. Are you going to be honest or are you going to be efficacious or practical, right? So there's a trade-off between honesty and practicality. So I think that option B is the best trade-off, and therefore option B is the right answer. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So I think we'll go back to the selection committee type questions. We'll do this. Now I'll give you two options. Do you want to do more of the selection committee type questions, or do you want to, or if you feel that uh, you're sufficiently trained with it, do you want to quickly do a fresh kind of a type of question and then
So we can't do that input output.
Sir, we'll do 2 to 3 questions of selection committees.
okay, fine. So I think we'll do this then. We'll do this question.
Sir, is the 15th one E, sir?
Okay, we'll start with the questions then. We'll quickly finish this and then we'll go to an RC. 15. Okay. So Mr. D'Souza, let's see. Mr. D'Souza was born on 65, did MCOM 1 year back. He was the top candidate in the group discussion and all that. So did we call him for an interview or cannot be selected? Why E? I think we can call. I think he can be called for an interview, right?
Sir, the age factor.
Sir,
The age.
yes, sir. But he's below 35 only.
The candidate must have completed
It
21
says
years.
not more. Yeah, it says
Not
not
more
more
than
than 35.
Yes, sir.
As
Yeah,
of
below
He
35 is
won't
okay,
be
right?
more than 35. Yeah, he won't be
yeah,
more than 35.
right. So I
Sir,
think
but they have not mentioned if he has qualified group discussion.
Yeah, they say like top candidate in group discussion.
he's a top candidate.
Yeah, they say that.
As in ranks or the serial number or something.
No, he probably qualified.
All right, sir.
Okay. How about 16? Mr. Subramanian, Subramaniam, whose date of birth is 1965. So is that okay? That's okay,
Yes,
right?
I think it's okay.
He's a postgraduate with commerce and has 60% mark in the interview. The same thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is
He
it
can be selected.
can be selected or can be called for interview?
Yes, sir.
No,
He
sir.
has
He can be
60% of
Can be selected.
interview.
Very
Yeah.
good, very good, very good. Okay, fine.
30.
So look, it's all pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. We'll just quickly finish this and then do something really interesting. Now, okay. So Mr. Roy is a commerce graduate, has passed a CA examination and was born on 18/4/74. So the age, how about the age?
Yeah, it satisfies.
22.
Satisfies, sir.
So what do we do to this person then?
That
Interview,
group
sir.
discussion.
Group discussion.
Can we call for group discussion or can we refer to the director?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
refer
Refer
to
to
the
the
director of
director.
finance.
Very good. So the person is to be referred to the director of finance. Right? Are you all okay with that? Any doubts? Does someone want me to repeat?
No, sir.
Okay. So how about 18? Mr. Mufford is a PhD in commerce and has 34 years and was 34 years old as on 96. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine, sir. No problem.
34 years old as on 96. That's okay, right? Okay, fine. And he
Yeah, he cannot be selected. He got 14 marks in the interview.
he obtained 14 marks in the interview. So he cannot be selected. Very good. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, Mr. Patel, a postgraduate, was permitted by the Director of Finance. He was born on 3563. He obtained 12 marks. Again, how about this?
He cannot be selected.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Okay, fine. So how about 20? Mr. Desai is a postgraduate in economics and the date of birth is 3460.
Group discussion.
No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why?
PG and age group both satisfies, no, sir.
So he cannot be selected, right? He had done PG in economics.
Economics comes under commerce only.
No, I think they're quite different.
Economics is a different, right?
Yeah, I think that's just a trick. It's just that to trick you. So I think the person has a degree in a postgraduate in economics, but not in commerce.
So like
So
commerce is separate subject.
absolutely, economics is an art subject. It's half arts, half.
Okay,
It's
sir.
Cannot be
it,
selected.
yeah. So how about 21? I think that's a trick. Okay, so keep trying 21, 22, 23.
All are similar, no, sir.
Yeah, I think in the meantime, I'll probably let you have the RC worksheet.
So can we do
So,
input output questions?
yes, sir. Some 2 to 3 questions of that.
Okay, fine, we'll do that.
Sure.
So I think we'll first finish this. Okay, are we done? So what's the answer for 21? Any answer for 21?
Selected, sir.
Okay, option
He
20,
cannot be selected.
uh, 21 is E. Why E?
So he got 20 marks in his interview.
Okay. So why A then?
So because he obtained 70% in group discussions and his age also satisfies.
Okay. Okay. So but they say here that the candidate must get 35% marks out of 50, and he's got 20 marks, so 20 is 40%, right? Uh, I think whoever had the doubt, uh, the person got 20 marks. So 20 marks out of 50 is 40%. So I think he's eligible.
Yes, sir.
30% is 15 marks, sir.
Yeah, 30% is 15 marks. Yes. Okay. So 22. How about 22?
Sir, then what about the 18th question, sir? Because Mr. Mathuri obtained only 14 marks in his interview. 14 and 14 comes on to 28.
Which question? Which?
He didn't qualify.
18th one.
Yeah, which is why he didn't qualify, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So okay. How about the next one? Yeah. Mrs. K is a qualified CA, so that's good, and has 25 and was 25 years old as on 87. So how about Mrs. K? Any answers?
B, sir.
B. Very good. B for bucket. So she is to be referred to the director of finance. Okay. 23. Uh, Mr. Das is MCOM, and he's got an MCOM, and his date of birth is 1960. So how about Mr. D? Any answer for that? Is it so here there's no data inadequate. So what is the answer going to be then?
Sir, I think he can be selected for group discussions.
Can be set for group discussion, but because look, his age is okay, but he's got an MCOM.
Oh, he's not a postgraduate.
Hmm,
Cannot be selected, sir.
fine. Okay, how about 24? Yeah, how about 24? So they give you one more set. So do we do this or do we move on to the next question? Do you feel that you are good enough with this?
Yes, sir, it's similar.
Okay, they're all quite similar. Okay, so then we'll move on to the next set of questions. So we'll do the input-output type questions first, and then we'll quickly see if we are able to do an RC2. Okay, fine. Let's start with the input-output type question. Let's start with the. So what they do here is that they give you a kind of an input. So here you have daily 79 DO, diver 74 14 DO, and then with each step it keeps the pattern keeps changing, and then until the end you have a completely new pattern, and then they ask you questions like which comes so they ask you questions like what could the next pattern be, and it's the largest step of the arrangement as intended, and all that. So that's how they do this. And pretty straightforward. I suppose you could, but I think you'll have to work it out. You'll have to look at how the thing is moving and sort of try and work out. So do you want to work it out and take some time and work it out?
So can you show one question how to do, and then can we do
Okay.
so?
Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. Look, you have an input and then you have each step. Each step does something to the input. And so in the end, you have the final form. And and then let's look at the question. And then they give you a fresh input and they want you to find out what the answer is going to be. So you have 26. So 26 is which element comes exactly between typhoon and Tor in step 3 of the given input. Okay. So I'll see if I can find myself a pen and paper. Just give me a moment. I think I'll have to. I think I'll have to find a marker where I can write on the desk. I think I don't have that with me right now. Oh, okay. I think I don't have the marker with me right now. I don't think I can demonstrate here.
Sir, you can share the whiteboard and you can do it here only, sir.
No, but I'll have to probably use a thing to write, right? Something. I don't have a
Yeah.
stylus.
Oh, okay.
I think got that uh, at home.
I think we'll do it in the next class and there's no time. So
Yeah, I
we'll
think
move
that's
to
just 40
RC.
minutes. So I think what we'll do now, thank you for that. I think what we'll do now is I'll probably just let you have I'll let you have the answers for this. You can probably do it by yourself and check. It shouldn't be very hard. And we'll quickly have 3 questions. You can probably just go there and start. I should have got the stylus with me. And also, it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing to break your head over. Are you all able to access the file?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just give me a moment before we start. I'll
Sir, so shall we start in the first passage?
yeah, we'll start with the first passage. And
Sir, I'm sorry. I didn't, the answers, I got logged out. So have
yeah, the
you,
answers for which the previous file is it?
yeah, you told you're gonna give the answers for the ones which we didn't do.
Okay, I think I'll let you have the key.
Okay.
So towards the end of this class, I'll let you have the link for the key.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
And
sure, I'll do
also,
that.
can you send the link for the RC?
Oh, you haven't received that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I got logged out.
Okay, I'll do. Just give me a moment. Okay, so towards the end of this class, I'll let you all have the the answer keys for the uh, for the RC for the LR, so you can check it out.
I got it, sir. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Okay, so before we start reading, let's just look at the questions. And they say, which one of the following most accurately states the main point? That's not something that we can work out now, so let's not worry about it. And let's then look at the second question. It talks about which of the following if would most strengthen the theory that carbon dioxide dissolving into the oxygen contributes to ocean acidification. So just mark that. Okay, carbon dioxide dissolving ocean acidification. Just take a sheet of paper and note that down. The passage as a result of asteroid striking peninsula approximately 66 million years ago, except. So, okay, just make a note of that. And then they talk about pulse. The term pulse, as used in the passage, most closely refers to what? Just make a note of that. And then they say Mr. Pincelli Hall, uh, the author discussed in the passage, would most likely agree with which one of the following. Just make a note of the name Pincelli Hall. I think it's a woman's name. It should have been Miss. Okay, so just make a note of that. And yeah, now you can start reading the passage.
Done, sir.
How about the first question? Any answer for that? What's the answer for that?
Sir, just a minute, sir.
Okay, so do you want more time?
Not much, sir. Just 1 minute.
No, I think we'll. How about the rest of us? Are we all okay? The rest of us, or do we want more time?
No, sir.
Okay.
We're done,
So, which of the following most accurately states the main point of the passage? Is it the
Sir,
asteroid
B.
that stuck?
Sir, B or D?
Okay, let's see. The asteroid that
Option
stuck.
B.
Okay, the
Should
asteroid that
be
struck the Yucatan Peninsula caused the oceans to become acidic and led to the worst mass extinction of life on Earth. Don't you think that's a very good main point? B says ocean acidification is occurring again today because of carbon dioxide emissions, and this. Do you think this is the main point? They only talk about this towards the end of the passage, right? See, until here, with this new finding, it now appears that all the three worst mass extinction feature. Only here do they start talking about what is presently happening. Since the late 1980s, the planet's oceans have become uh, 0.02 pH units more acidic every decade. It's only here that they start talking about it towards the end. Whereas the central talk is the mass extinction of Earth because of this particular.
Yes, sir. It might be A also.
Sir, central topic is about ocean acidification.
The central topic is not ocean acidification, but this particular asteroid. They say, because look at how it starts. It says the worst day um, in the history of life on Earth so far happened almost exactly 66 million years ago when an asteroid roughly the size of Manhattan slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula. And then they go on to describe that, and they go on to talk about the consequences of that. They say that they say that uh, uh, an accumulation of dead coral, sea, uh, when the asteroid hit, untold megatons of old organic material rich in nitrogen and sulfur instantly became dust and shot up into the atmosphere. Soon it all began to fall down, fall back as nitric oxide and sulfuric acid. It was raining brimstone and acid from the sky. Hal said the air was would have had a strong reek of smog and burnt matches. And the acid accumulated in the oceans, wearing away the shells of small, delicate plankton that serve as, and all that happened. And then they talk about the spike in ocean acidification. May have lasted less than 1,000 years, but even that pulse was long enough to kill off entire ecosystems. Hull said, and this pulse, and then it's only towards the end that they talk about. So the central topic is it going to
Yes,
be
sir.
is it um, is it going to be uh, the is it B or is it A?
It says, sir, it's telling the main cause of ocean acidification and why it is continued.
Yes, sir. A.
Okay, let's look at C. C says that the asteroid that hit the Yucatan Peninsula nearly 60 million years ago would not have had. Okay, I think C, D, and E are obviously wrong, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Only one relatable is A.
Okay, how about two? C says that C is absurd. It says something.
Who is also A?
D says that our understanding of is changing thanks to D. See, you can see that C, D, and D are absurd. Researchers debate whether ocean acidification or other phenomena were the main cause of mass extinction. See, if you can look at this question, only A and B are close. A and B are definitely close, but C, D, and D are all absurd. They're complete bogus, right? So, okay. The question number two. How about question number two?
A, sir.
Any other answer? Any of us? Okay.
Second one is A.
Okay, let's see. Which one of the following, if true, would most strengthen the theory that carbon dioxide dissolving into the ocean contributes to ocean acidification? So records from periods before 1980s show that oceans were less acidic when compared when carbon dioxide emissions were low. That is definitely a contributing factor, right? the carbon dioxide emissions were low, and therefore you could say that the oceans were less acidic. So that's perfectly okay. So B, studies performed on carbon dioxide that contributes to global warming have shown that this type of carbon dioxide does not dissolve in water. That weakens the argument, right? So option B weakens the argument. How about option C? Scientists only began to keep records of oceans acidity levels in the 1980s, but no records of ocean acidity currently exist from that period, from earlier periods. I think that doesn't do anything. Carbon dioxide emissions are continuing to rise around the globe. That doesn't do anything. Tests performed on fresh water have shown that a rise in acidity, but change in acidity in fresh water is not contributed to, is not attributed to carbon dioxide. How
No,
about
sir.
that? Again, that doesn't
It
really,
doesn't match with.
yeah, very good. So how about three? The passage identifies each of the following as a result of the asteroid striking the Yucatan Peninsula approximately 66 million years ago, except what?
E, sir.
Except the water cooling.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it the water cooling or
Yes,
anything
sir.
else?
Others are mentioned.
Because the rest are mentioned. And regarding the water cooling, they say what they say here is very good. That is the answer. So what they say here is that what they say here is something like it kind of cut off the sun, right? So it would have been dark, but they don't really talk about the water cool. So they say that there would have been debris. See, they say that the planet shuddered with a magnitude 12 earthquake, losing tsunamis across the Gulf, right? So some of the ejected debris condensed in orbit and plunged back into the as searing spheres of molten glass, which torched the land and turned forest into firestorms. So I don't think it's possible that the water cooled, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
How about four? The meaning of the term pulse, as used in the passage, paragraph 6, is so.
Sir, B, sir. The 1,000-year period during which ocean acidity spiked.
Okay, very good. I think that has to be the answer. So they say pulse. They talk about pulse here, right? They say here that so this spike in ocean acidity may have lasted for less than 1,000 years, but even that pulse was long enough to kill off an entire ecosystem, Hull said. So this pulse is called the KT pulse of ocean acidification, also likely worsened other sweeping environmental changes wrought by the impact, such as the years-long darkness caused by orbiting debris and all that. Okay, fine. So let's look at four. A spike in ocean acidity? No, definitely not. The 1,000-year period during which ocean acidity spiked? Okay, possible. C, the reverberation felt during felt from the impact of asteroid, the slow death of most life on Earth, the pulsing felt through. Okay, now one more time. What could the answer be?
Sir, I'll stick with B only,
All
sir.
of you can try. Okay, any other answer? So this spike in ocean acidification may have lasted for less than 1,000 years. Okay, fine. That is the answer. Okay. I thought some of you may get confused with D. Okay, good. So, okay, so Ms. Pincelli Hall, the author discussed in the passage, would most likely agree with which one of the following statements? Any answers for that? Okay, let's go option by option. Option A, the oceans will
A
soon.
or D, sir?
A or D? Very good. Let's see. The oceans will soon reach the ocean acidity level that is comparable to the acidity level of the oceans in the KT period. I think that's explicitly mentioned, right? I think she
It's
explicitly
mentioned,
says
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
See, modern acidification is not yet at the same magnitude as the KT pulse. It's moving toward that scale, but it's not quite there yet. What unites our world and the KT period, she said, is that a number of environmental catastrophes can overlap with ocean acidification to produce a major upheaval. So what she's saying is that we're getting there. So the ocean level will soon reach. We can't be very sure, but we can't uh, conclude that A is infallibly correct. We'll go to option B. The KT period was the single worst even in all of life on Earth.
No,
Uh,
sir.
No, sir.
why?
There were three evidences of human extinction. I mean, not human, I'm sorry, but mass extinctions.
Okay. So does an asteroid prompt extinction if it chooses the right direction? Right. So, but they do say here that yes, I think you are right. But they say here that the worst day in the history of life on Earth so far.
So
Yes,
that
sir.
was not told by Mrs. Pinsay Hall.
Very good. That was told by the present right.
Yes,
Present
sir.
writer. Okay. Okay. Very good. So how about C? Carbon dioxide dissolving into the oceans is currently having an indirect impact on plankton and smaller ocean life. That's not discussed explicitly. I don't think it's mentioned. The asteroid that struck Earth 66 million years ago had a greater impact on the planet because of the location in which it struck. How about that?
Yes, sir. You
Very,
can
very,
relate to it, sir.
between D and A, which do you think is more appropriate? Okay, let's look at
Mostly A, but D also can be related, sir.
let's look at D. I think D says that E says that carbon dioxide levels in Earth's atmosphere today are beginning to reach levels similar to periods in which the Earth's mass extinction. Okay, I think E and A are very close, and D I think is the right answer because she explicitly says that, right?
Yes, sir. In the fourth para.
Whereas she kind of hints at A. She says that we're getting there, which could, but I think she explicitly says that it was because of the location. Very good. So I think
Where,
the
sir?
answer. So the answer
Fourth
is D.
para. How does an
I
Okay.
think
asteroid prompt an extinction?
sure, sure. I think she explicitly says that. So I think that the answer is D.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
So I think you can start with question number 2. Meanwhile, I'll upload the answer key for the LR. So you can. I think we've done. I think it's all very straightforward. It's just going to be more more of slowing down. So I think I'll just let you have the. So maybe this Sunday you can just sit down and try to solve them. And if you have any doubts, please get back to me by email or by WhatsApp, and I'll be glad to get back to you. But I don't think you'll have any doubts once you got the answers with you. You won't have any doubts.
Sir, I actually told Pranab sir that I am not able to log into the CLAT website, sir.
Okay.
He said me to send my email ID. I sent it to him, but then I don't know what happened after that.
Okay. That's pretty unfortunate.
Sir, so they'll be on the site under the downloads.
It's supposed to be there.
The answer key
It
as well.
isn't there, sir. I didn't get.
No, not the answer key. The answer key, I'll let you have it now.
Okay.
I'm talking about the PDF for
Yes,
the
sir. That's what
second
only.
module. Not the answer key for today's class.
Okay, is it under that set two bracket, sir?
I suppose, yes. The answer key for today's class, I'll let you have it right now. Maybe towards the end of this class.
Sir, will RC mostly be concerned with fiction only, sir?
Last time, I think you had free fiction, you had one general and one current affairs. So they had one question from straight from Twitter. There was this boys locker thing. So if you have a Twitter account, you probably know that that's one of the trending news. So I think having a Twitter account really helps. Just look at what's trending. That really helps because Twitter is going to keep you abreast of what's going on. So they had three passages that were quite literary. They had
One
one
weather
passage.
changes they had, no, sir?
Yeah, they had one general topic like this one scientific topic, and they had yeah, and I think they had one travel kind of a stuff. This one on cats and philosophical one, and they had one current affairs. Okay, fine. So we'll finish second question. Again, before you start the passage, just look at the questions and look at where they want you to focus your energy on. So I think that we are kind of training you for a 20% harder paper. So if you can do this, then I don't think CLAT should be hard at all. At least the RC. Okay, I'll let you have the keys, okay? So that's the file where you got the keys. So after this question, maybe you can download it. But now first finish the question. Okay, are we done? Okay, we'll start with the first question then. I think it's just little, we don't have much time too. So we'll start with the first question. So the passage is primarily concerned with what? Is it defending a controversial approach or criticizing an accepted view, summarizing research findings, contrasting competing theories, or describing an innovative technique?
I think it's research findings.
Okay, summarizing research findings. Okay. Any other answers? Because look at what they're doing here. What they're doing here is that they begin with the fact that the the whole universe is expanding. And then they say that, but the density of the observable universe, that is the luminous matter in the form of galaxies, comes to only a fraction of this. So if the expansion is to stop, there must be enough invisible matter in the universe to exceed the luminous matter in density by a factor roughly of 70. That's what they say. And then they say here that our contribution of the search for this missing matter has been to study. So this is where the answer lies. This is the main argument. They say here has been to study the rotational velocity of galaxies at various distances from their center of rotation. It has been known for some time that outside the bright nucleus of a typical spiral galaxy, luminosity falls rapidly with distance from the center. So as you go far away from the center, it gets darker and darker. So if luminosity was a true indicator of mass, most of the mass would be concentrated toward the center. Okay. Outside the nucleus, the rotational velocity would decrease geometrically with distance from the center. So by geometric, they mean by a factor. So by 2, by 4, like that. So in conformity with Kepler's law. Instead, so here you see, instead, this is what we expect. Uh, we expect them to be in conformity with expect law. Instead, we have found that the rotational velocity in spiral galaxies either remain constant with increasing distance from the center. The center here is the American spelling. The uh, the normal spelling is CENTRE, or increases slightly. So this unexpected result indicates that the fall off is luminous mass with distance from the center is balanced by an increase in non-luminous mass. Okay, so this is one theory, Kepler's law, and they are presenting you with an alternate theory. So I think that the primary concern, and that is the primary concern, and then they go on to say that our findings suggest that as much as 90% of the mass of the universe is not radiating at any wavelength with enough intensity to be detected on the Earth. So the answer is present to contrasting competing theories. It is concerned with contrasting competing theories. So one theory is Kepler's law, which states that outside the nucleus, the rotational velocity would decrease geometrically with distance from the center. And the other is the law that theory that these people have come up with, whoever presented this observation. And they say that the rotational velocity in spiral galaxies either remains constant with increasing distance from the center, or it increases slightly. It does not decrease geometrically. So they are trying to present you with two contradicting theories. So yes, summarizing research findings is very close, but I think that D is kind of more appropriate. Are we okay, Amit? I
Yes,
think
sir.
you had
Yes.
said you had said C. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So question number 7, the author study indicates that in comparison with the outermost regions of a typical spiral galaxy, the region just outside the nucleus can be characterized as having what? So the author study indicates that um, in comparison with the the outermost regions of a spiral galaxy, the regions the regions just outside the nucleus can be characterized as having what? It's very straightforward. It's straight from the passage.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what's the answer then?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I'll
what is
Sir, option C.
option C. Let's see. I'll just take you to the thing. So what they say here is it's similar, right? They say that it's similar. They say that instead we have found that the rotational velocity in spiral galaxies either remains constant or increases slightly. So it remains constant. So similar is nearer. So similar rotational velocity, but higher luminosity. So the luminosity is higher to uh, nearer to the nucleus. But as you go farther from the nucleus, yes, it gets darker. But there is no change in the rotational velocity. Okay, someone's discussing Pav now. Okay, so yeah, so that's the answer, right? The answer is option D. Okay, the question number 8. The author suggestion that as much as 90% of the mass of the universe is not radiating at any wavelength with enough intensity to be detected on the Earth would be most weakened if which one of the following were discovered to be true.
E, sir?
Some galaxies do not rotate or rotate too slowly. Slowly once more, it's quite tricky. It's a very hard passage.
So because they have told do not rotate or rotate too slowly.
That how does that contradict? How about option A?
So it may not be radiating at any wavelength. Maybe, sir, I'm not sure.
Option A says that spiral galaxies are less common than other galaxies. So this theory is all about spiral galaxies, right? This is true.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
To make this statement, the author assumes that they're all spiral galaxies. So what if there's a different kind of a galaxy which is not a spiral galaxy? So this option C, again, this is a hypothetical situation. They say that spiral galaxies are less common than other kind of galaxies. So the assumption that is the writer is making here is that most galaxies happen to be spiral galaxies. So are we all okay with that? Does anyone have a doubt with that as to why it's option A?
A, A is the
Yeah,
answer, sir.
yeah. The option is answer is option A. Okay, now question 9. It can be inferred from the information presented in the passage that if the density of the universe were equivalent to significantly less than 3 hydrogen atoms per cubic meter, which of the following would be true as a consequence? Again, straight from the passage. What is the answer? Come. I think you should be getting this. I think this is a typical CLAT question. It's not harder or easier. What's the answer for that? Okay, do we have a doubt between two options?
So C and another
Okay.
option I would have
See,
said.
what will happen, what they say here is that, so what they say here is that it can be calculated that the critical density of matter needed to break um, the expansion Break is to stop, right? Not break, break the expansion. And close the universe is equivalent to 3 hydrogen atoms per cubic meter. But the density of the is luminous. So the of the luminous is but the density of the observable universe, that is the luminous matter in the form of galaxies, comes only to a fraction of this. So if the expansion of the universe is to stop, there must be enough invisible matter in the universe to exceed the luminous matter in density by a factor of roughly 70%. So if this is true, then what they say here is that um, it can be inferred from the information presented in the passage that if the density of the universe were equivalent to significantly less than free hydrogen, which of the following would be true? The density of the invisible matter in the universe would have to be more than 70% the density of the luminous matter. Is it that?
So we can just keep that.
Okay, so let's look at option A. So let's look at option C. The universe would continue to expand indefinitely. Okay, so the density of the
That's what I had
invisible.
a doubt, sir.
Okay, between C and D. But D says that the density of the invisible matter of the universe would have to be more than 70% of the density of the luminous matter. Isn't that what they say here? Because they say here that the expansion is going to stop. See, they say here that if the expansion is to stop, there must be enough uh, invisible matter in the universe to exceed the luminous matter density by a factor of 70. That is, there should be 70 times invisible matter like planets like Saturn and all that.
Okay, sir. So if it is more than 70, yes, sir.
Yeah,
D.
if it's more than 70, then the universe won't indefinitely expand, which is what's going to happen. So the answer is option D. Okay, let's do the last question. Are you okay with the previous question? Does anyone have a doubt with the previous question? Are we all okay with that? Okay, fine. So question number 10 then. So the authors propose all of the following as possible contribution, as possibly contributing to the missing matter in the spiral galaxies, except what? I think it's pretty simple, right?
Yes, sir. But searching those words will take some time.
Okay, any answers? So what they say here is that there are two kinds of stuff, the luminous and non-luminous. So the luminous ones are luminous things are like stars and galaxies. The non-luminous things are planets and all that.
I mean, is it A or B, sir? I mean, is it B or C, sir? Because dim stars is still luminous, no, sir?
See, is it small dim stars or is it massive stars? The answer is obviously answer D, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the answer is option D. It's quite straightforward. Okay, I think we'll do the third question in the next class, and I think we'll stop now. We'll stop for now. I think, and also you can go through the keys, all very straightforward. It's all like the one once you done in class, the rest of the LR. And if you do have some doubt, please get back to me. Okay, and
Yeah,
the
sir.
ones
Thank you,
who
sir.
are not able to log in, please contact Mr. Pranab or Mr. Miraj. Okay, thank you and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
evening.
The key answer key, if we refer, we'll get no, sir. The remaining answers.
It's all just like we've done in class.
Okay, sir. Fine.
It's all pretty straightforward. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
So I don't understand, how do we access the answer key?
I think I sent you a link
On the chat box. So can you
on
send
the
it
chat
again?
box. Sure. Just give me a moment. See, that's the answer key. I think it's all the same stuff, and I think I'll just let everyone have it. And I suppose, yeah. So that's the answer key. That's the link. See if you can access it. I think you'll find the solutions there. It's all pretty straightforward. And yeah, and
So it says that it's unable to find the file.
okay, just give me a moment. I think I'll have to share it with everyone. I think it's shared. Just give me a moment. Yeah, anyone? No, I think you should be able to. Are the rest of us able to access it? Is anybody else here? Are we able to
No,
access
sir. I'm not able to access it.
it? Okay. How about now? I think it's the same file. I don't know
Okay,
why.
yeah, sir.
Yeah, now it's
Now it's fine. Great. Okay. So I think we'll stop for now, and I think I'll have to talk about people who I think you should be able to access your. I think Aniket, are you here with me?
Yes, sir.
See, are you able to access your dashboard and look at the PDF there of the latest module for RC and all that?
So actually I have a problem with this site. Every time I go there, my computer hangs.
Okay, so I think Maitri wasn't able to access her PDF stuff too.
yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, she wasn't able to. So I thought I'll kind of email it to her, and I think I'll do the same with you too.
Okay, yes, sir. Which RC module?
I think that the second module.
Oh, you mean
The second module.
the
I
second
think,
part to the textbook?
yeah, I think that there were some 90 questions that were put up on your dashboard, and I think some people had trouble accessing it. I think I'll talk to my boss now, and I'll see if we can fix that trouble.
Okay, yes, sir. I'll So when will you send it to me?
I think I'll just have a talk right now, and I'll see if Maitri, what happens when you try to access it? Do you have some?
No, it just doesn't open. Like every time I click on it, like
Okay.
it refuses to do what it's supposed to do.
Okay. You mean the website itself, or
No, the website's fine.
okay.
It's just the material doesn't.
Okay, I'll let you have the PDF as soon as I can, and I think I'll talk about the other stuff too. Okay, fine. So
Okay, so thank you.
yeah,
Bye.
thank you. Yeah, bye.
Okay, so just let me know. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Bye.